That is the rig of a 15-year-old natty teen who's been training for a grand total of 4 months. Of course, that's a lie. I'm 22 years of age and I'm taking all the drugs that can be found in your local pharmacy. How are we, you bunch of rude boys? Hope everyone is sound. Welcome back to the channel. You join me for another voiceover. These are just so easy to do. It is a Wednesday today. You join me in the evening. The body is battered and abused. Video's edited, so let's get this voiceover done so we can get it posted. I say Wednesday, it's not Wednesday, mate. It's a Tuesday. Getting my days mixed up. Anyway, today's session was push. Started things off with a upper back focused row. You might be thinking, that's a poor movement. You a donut. Why you being a melon? Well, one, I shouldn't talk to myself in that negative tone. It's bad for your headspace. But two, when we look at chest dominant press and movements, the upper back musculature plays a huge role. So I perform that row to get everything firing, quote unquote, using my bro terminology, so my press and movements can just feel better. Now, if you've been following the channel or if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that not that long ago, my left shoulder wasn't too happy. I managed to aggravate it performing a cuff fly, and ever since it just hasn't felt 100%. So moving forward into the session, I wasn't very confident because this is the first time I've pressed dumbbells in months. But recently that shoulder hasn't been aggravated at all in any of my other sessions, so I thought, let's run it up, let's see how it feels, and I'm pleased to say it was feeling good, mate. It's feeling very good. I was still reserved with loading. First working set 45 key, second working set 40s. I just took the negatives nice and slow just to make sure the shoulder was happy throughout, and it was. So I'm confident to say moving forward I can just run my numbers up on a dumbbell press again, which I'm looking forward to. After the dumbbell press, we moved forward into a delt dominant Smith press. As you can see, there's no band because I'm a biddy boulder now. I'll be head to toe in gasp in no time. I took 2 plates to unacceptable behaviour from myself. I need to get stronger on here. I need to run my numbers up, but I'm confident I will over time. Took 2 working sets here. Again, shoulder was happy, and I was a bit nervous. I was thinking, is the shoulder going to be happy working through this path of motion? But it was. So today's session was just full of wins. I was very happy, and I did beat previous logbook numbers. So I only ran this once before with no band. And compared to previous logbook numbers, I was upper rep on both sets, which is decent. I feel like I need to go back to what was mentioned in the intro. I'm not taking a great amount of drugs. Yes, I'm assisted, but stack design is minimal. I'm actually using less than I was, and I'm feeling way better for it. A lot better, actually. I think my body's just under less stress now. And yeah, I'm finding myself feeling a lot better in the day, and performance is actually in a good spot. It got to a point where day to day, no matter how good my sleep was, no matter how my meal timing was, whatever it may be, I was just feeling tired and battered. But that's not the case anymore. I'm feeling good again, so let's run these numbers up. Now you can see I'm performing a pec deck. I'm stating the obvious. I'm very good at that. This isn't meant to be a pec deck, it's meant to be a cuff fly. But I left my cuffs at home. I was fuming about it. When it comes down to fly movements, I follow one rule, and that is if I've got a fly movement before a chest dominant press, I perform a pec deck. If I have a fly movement after a chest dominant press, I perform a cuff fly. The reason for this is because, of course, on the cuff fly, the cuff is closer to the shoulder, so you can expose the chest to more resistance even when high amounts of fatigue are present. And of course, the reason I use the pec deck before a press is because I'm fresh, so that point of application can be further away from the shoulder, it can be further from the X rotation, so I just run the pec deck. And of course here, point of application is the hand. I performed 3 working sets here. First set, let's talk rep range, mate, because we haven't yet. First set, 10 to 15, 8 to 10, 10 to 12, I believe, and all sets were progressed menacing behaviour from myself. I got a few questions from Instagram the other day. I didn't answer them on Instagram, and I feel very rude. I do apologise, but we might as well get into them now. So first question is, what do I edit on? And I'm happy I got this question because you must think these videos are somewhat decent. I edit on iMovie, basic B behaviour, super easy, super quick. I'm all about that workflow over here. So I'm on iMovie and I will stay on iMovie for the foreseeable. Rate it, mate. I love it. Next question is, what is your current training split? I think I mentioned this on the other episode. Did I? I'm not sure. So let's go through it. I am performing an upper lower, rest, push, legs, pull, rest, repeat. So there has been a slight change recently actually. So the first lower is hamstring focused. The second lower is quad dominant. I've moved it after my push just because it felt better within the week. Anyway, let's cut back to the session. I'm performing dips here. Body weight, not loaded. Well, it is loaded for my body weight, but not using any external resistance in the form of plates or dumbbells. Just working through the largest range I can here. So when I go through the negative, I let that shoulder rise all the way up. When I drive for that positive, that concentric, I try to drive that shoulder all the way down. I just perform 2 working sets here, and I'm not fussed about rep range. I just go to failure. The chest is feeling absolutely battered by that point anyway. Going back to the question about my sessions, yeah, I just moved legs further in because having that on the last day is just absolutely writing me off. That leg day is way more taxing than the pull, so I'd much rather have that pull day positioned after legs. Also, that leg day is quad dominant. There's no lower back loading or anything like that, so it does not take away from that pull session. Back to the session again, just arm work now, performing 3 working sets. This is a question as well. How many working sets do you perform for arms a week? So I perform 9. I've got 3 bi and 3 tri on push, pull, and my upper days. Sounds quite minimal, but it works. That's plenty to see adaptations occur. Another question was about my forearms. What do I do for forearms? This was on Instagram and someone commented on a recent YouTube video. I don't do anything for forearms. I do not train them directly. I don't think there's any need to. They will grow as long as you are resistance training and your muscles are growing as a byproduct of said resistance training. There might be a genetic component, but I doubt it. My dad's got a huge set of forearms. Bricklayer, mate. Outrageous scenes. But yeah, I don't train them directly. I normally perform this tricep push down with a cuff, by the way. But again, as mentioned earlier, I didn't have a cuff, so I performed it with a D handle. I won't be doing it again because it didn't feel great on the wrist, mate. It was far from ideal. But when it comes down to these sets, progress to all 3 working sets. Mixture of increasing resistance and match reps, and then on some same resistance, but managed to get another rep or 2, which was decent. This session was fueled by conviction. Pick and mix flavour, haven't had it before. It's a tub they recently sent to me and I highly recommend it. Firing on all cylinders today, foot flat on the accelerator. Last movement of the session was a dumbbell lateral raise. Again, this would normally be a cuff cable lateral raise with a cable on the floor, but I didn't have the cuff. Resistance profile is similar, so it's not the end of the world. I have the cable on the floor, so it's heaviest at the top. Of course, this dumbbell raise is heaviest at the top, so a very similar challenge. And that was today's session wrapped up. Thank you for watching the video. It's greatly appreciated. Remember to like, subscribe, comment if you're feeling dangerous. I haven't been happy the way I've looked in a very long time, but I think I do look like I kind of train. So that is a win.